Before we continue, if you enjoy mysterious African legends and folktales, please like this video and subscribe for more incredible stories every week. Now, let's enter the sacred forest. Deep within the endless jungles of the Congo Basin lies a place so feared that even the bravest hunters refuse to speak its name after sunset. The elders say that once you cross its ancient trees, the forest begins to watch you, not with eyes, but with something far older. For generations, children have been warned never to follow strange footprints into the forest. Because according to an old legend, no hunter who ignored the warning ever returned alive. Tonight, we tell the forgotten folktale of the sacred forest. Long before roads crossed the jungle, there stood a small village hidden beside the great Congo River. The people depended on hunting to survive. Every family respected the spirits of the forest. Before each hunt, elders poured palm wine onto the ground and whispered prayers to the ancestors. They believed the forest was not merely trees and animals, it was alive. It remembered every promise. It punished every act of greed. Among the hunters lived a young man named Kanza. Strong, fearless, and proud, he believed the stories told by the elders were only meant to frighten children. Whenever the old men spoke about the sacred forest, Kanza laughed. "If spirits exist," he would say, "let them come and hunt me." The village chief warned him, "There are places where courage becomes foolishness." But Kanza refused to listen. One dry season, hunt became scarce. Hunters returned home with empty hands. Families began to worry. Then one morning, Kanza discovered enormous footprints deep in the mud. No one had ever seen tracks that large. Some believed they belonged to an ancient forest spirit. Others thought they were left by a beast older than memory itself. The elders ordered everyone to stay away, but Kanza smiled. "If the creature is real, I'll become the greatest hunter our village has ever known." Before sunrise the next day, he sharpened his spear, packed smoked meat, and walked alone toward the forbidden forest. At first, everything seemed normal. Birds sang, monkeys leaped between branches. Sunlight slipped through the giant trees, but after several hours, the forest became strangely quiet. No birds, no insects, only silence. Then Kanza noticed something strange. The footprints appeared behind him. He was certain they had been ahead only moments before. He spun around. Nothing. Only towering trees. He continued walking. Again, the footprints changed direction. It was as though something invisible was circling him. As evening approached, a cold wind swept through the trees. Then he heard it. Drums. Very slow, very distant. Boom, boom, boom. He followed the sound. The deeper he walked, the louder the drums became. Suddenly, he stepped into a clearing. In its center stood an enormous tree unlike any he had ever seen. Its roots twisted across the ground like giant snakes. Its bark bore ancient symbols no one could read. Offerings surrounded its base. Old spears, clay pots, animal bones, and necklaces left behind by hunters who had disappeared many years before. Kanza realized he had reached the sacred tree. The drums stopped. Complete silence. Then, the forest whispered his name, Kanza. He froze. Again. Kanza. The voice sounded like dozens of people speaking together. Fear filled his chest. He grabbed his spear. "Show yourself." No answer. Only the wind. Suddenly, every tree around him began to creak. Not from the wind, but as if they were turning toward him. The shadows grew longer. The forest no longer felt empty. It felt crowded. Kanza ran. Branches struck his face. Roots reached beneath his feet. No matter how fast he ran, he somehow returned to the sacred tree. Again and again, the forest would not let him leave. Night covered the jungle. Then glowing eyes appeared among the darkness. Not one pair. Hundreds. Watching, waiting. The drums began once more. Closer, much closer. Boom, boom, boom. Kanza dropped his spear. For the first time in his life, he begged for mercy. The elders had always said the spirits were not evil. They only protected the balance of the forest. Those who hunted with respect returned safely. Those driven by pride became part of the forest forever. Kanza finally understood. He knelt before the ancient tree. He apologized for mocking the ancestors. He promised never to hunt for glory again. The wind suddenly stopped. Morning sunlight slowly returned. The glowing eyes vanished. The path home appeared before him. When Kanza reached the village, everyone gasped. His hair had turned completely white. Though he was still young, he refused to tell anyone exactly what happened inside the sacred forest. Whenever children asked, he simply answered, "Respect what you do not understand." From that day forward, no hunter entered the forbidden forest without first honoring the ancestors. The sacred tree remained untouched, and the mysterious drums were sometimes heard during quiet nights, echoing through the Congo Basin, even today. Some elders say the sacred forest still stands, hidden beyond the rivers and towering trees, waiting silently, watching those who enter with pride instead of respect. Whether the legend is true or not, its lesson has survived for generations. Nature is not something to conquer. It is something to honor. And sometimes, the greatest hunter is the one wise enough to turn back. If you think you would have been brave enough to enter the sacred forest, comment, "I would enter" below. But if you believe the elders' warning, comment, "Never." I'd love to hear what you think.